Hey folks, how you doing today? Don't want to waste a whole lot of your time, but I did want to touch base with you on something that we've been working on. Now, as many of you may remember, this right here has been the topic of discussion lately. This is, for if you can't tell because of its concealment inside this nice CYA holster, this is our Ruger Max-9 with the Galloway Precision Maxxis SS trigger installed on it. Before we get started, as I always try to remember to do, folks, this is a safe and empty weapon. It's an empty magazine, another empty magazine, and we're going to try to keep it that way for the duration of what we're doing here. We'll put some bullets in it when we go out over there. Okay folks, so what are we covering here? Well, for today we're not going to cover any of the politics of modifying your carry pistol and the legally defensible aspects of that. We're not going to touch on that. If that's something that concerns you, talk to somebody other than me. So what we are going to talk about today is the Ruger Max-9 and some of the things that I have done to it to make it more shootable. Now, I would like to give a special thanks to the folks that made this possible. I bought it. Spent my money on it. Nobody gave me any of these parts. Nobody asked me to do this. So I'd like to thank me for it, but actually I'd like to thank my oh so caring and understanding wife who puts up with all of this. You should thank her too. Ruger Max-9 out of the box was about $500 back in, when did I buy this? April of this year, I think, right after it came out. I got it within the first week. Because I got it so early, and I bought it from Academy Sports, the only model that was available was the manual safety model. They did not have the Max-9 Pro, which is the only way you can get it from the factory without a manual safety. So as you may have noticed in the previous video, I neutered the manual safety on my pistol. I cannot recommend that you do that. I'm not going to show you how to do that. If you want to figure out how to do it for yourself, find a video that shows the disassembly. While we're on the topic of videos that show the disassembly, this pistol also has the Galloway Precision Maxxis SS trigger. And if you go to their website to buy the trigger, right below that link for buying the trigger is a video on YouTube that shows how to install it. Galloway did that. So if you watch that video to see how to change the trigger, from there, most people with this much mechanical ability could figure out how to do away with that manual safety. And I'm going to leave that right there. If you think it's something beyond your scope, maybe take it to a gunsmith and have them do it. But I'm not going to show you how here. What I am going to show you right here is how well this little pistol has been performing since I modified it. Now, before I changed the trigger and neutered the safety on this pistol, it was 100% reliable. Completely reliable. So I'm sure some of you are probably concerned with, did the shenanigans that I pulled affect the reliability of this pistol? Well, no, it didn't. This pistol has remained 100% reliable. I have never had a failure to feed. I've never had a stovepipe. I've never had any kind of typical range behavior malfunctions that you would expect, especially when you're dealing with such a small gun. This one has been 100% reliable. The gun's still reliable after I did all the modifications to it. So I wanted to share that. I wanted to keep this short, and I also wanted to shine some light on a couple of other matters. One of them is this. In my first, I think it was the first video I did on this pistol, I mentioned that the slide rails on the receiver of this pistol appeared to be made out of aluminum. Well, I had several people who, in one way or the other, informed me that I was an idiot for even suggesting that the frame rails on this pistol were made out of aluminum. But I was still convinced that I thought they were made out of aluminum. So I wrote an email to Ruger. And I asked them, what are the frame rails made out of? And Ruger responded back to me, and they told me. I'll just post that right here. Read it for yourself. All right, so I've covered that the Ruger Max-9 is still reliable. But is it any more accurate than it used to be? Well, I'll take you out to the range right now with me, and I'll show you what kind of accuracy I'm getting out of it. Now, my disclaimer is this. I've never, even one time, alluded to the fact that I know what I'm doing. Okay? I have kind of like sloth-like tactical skills. I'll be the first person to tell you that I'm not the best shot in the world. But I consider my skills based upon what I'm trying to accomplish. If I go deer hunting and I shoot at a deer one time and I hit that deer regardless of the distance, then I consider that to be good shot placement. If I'm trying to shoot for defensive skills, you know, on an everyday carry pistol at close ranges, I'm probably not shooting for a bullseye. I'm probably shooting for a bullseye. So, if I have a threat, let's just, for the sake of argument, say that it's some PCP crazed, you know, psychopath that's twice my size, which would really be hard to accomplish. But regardless, you know, that guy's probably not going to go down with just one round, whether it's from a 9 or a 45. So, you know, you're probably going to have to put a few rounds into a central nervous system on that intended target to take it out. So that's kind of what I train for with something like this, is how well can I quickly put several rounds into a vital sized area. And that's what I'm going to be demonstrating at the range with this pistol today. The other thing I want to be demonstrating is this. Given that I consider this to be a pocket gun, albeit this particular gun is slightly large for what I consider a pocket gun, but it still makes it just barely. That being said, if I'm going to carry this as a pocket gun, I'm probably going to carry it with that flush fit magazine right there. And the reason for that is it makes it that much more concealable if I'm trying to wear it, a pair of shorts and flip-flops to the mall with my kids. Now, you'll notice, I'll show you here, when I hold this pistol with the flush fit magazine, I have to tuck that finger underneath. There's not really anywhere to get any real estate on that pistol. If I put the +2 magazine on it, now you'll see I can get a good solid grip with all 3 fingers. But now the question I ask you, which magazine or which grip is going to make this pistol more accurate for me? Given the criteria that I gave you earlier of rapid shot placement at close ranges. And then for close ranges, I'm going to say 7 yards. Let's get out to the range and find out. Okay, folks, so as you can see here, we have the Max-9 with the Galloway Precision Maxxis SS trigger installed on it. We're going to do a little bit of accuracy testing from the 7-yard line today on this orange target and this green target right here. The 10-round magazine that I have here is loaded up with Russian steel-cased full metal jacket ammunition. This is about as cheap a factory-loaded ammunition as you can find, and I've had reliability issues with this ammunition in other pistols. So I'm going to step back and see what this Ruger Max-9 will do at 7 yards. So that was again the Max-9 with the Galloway Precision trigger. 7 yards, as fast as I could get the rounds on paper. Now you will notice I had one flyer to the bottom. That was just me. And also there was no malfunction. I'm just an idiot and I ejected the first round out on the ground when I got over there, so I had to pick it up and put it back in the gun. Otherwise, it ran pretty good. And the accuracy was pretty acceptable considering the low quality of the ammunition. So now I'm going to shoot the same ammunition, but this time I'm going to shoot it out of the magazine with the 2-round extension on the bottom that gives you a total of 12 rounds. I'm going to shoot this at the orange target there. We're going to see if the groups improve. I'm going to try to shoot just as fast, and I'm shooting from the exact same location. So I noticed there that it seems like I was squeezing the pistol a little bit different, having the 3-finger contact, and it did move the location of the group a little bit. There were a couple of flyers, but overall the group looks about like the group that I shot without the pinky extension. So I'm going to say that aside from moving the point of impact a little bit, having the 3-finger grip as opposed to the 2-finger grip really didn't make a whole lot of difference in this case. Okay, so as you could clearly see from that range session, there was no significant difference in the size of groups regardless of magazine. There was, however, a slight difference in group placement given the magazine. And I think that has a lot to do with the grip changing a little bit. So that would indicate to me that what I need to do is decide which magazine I'm going to carry in the pistol, which I've pretty much already decided would be the flush fit magazine in this case, but it could change depending on the circumstances, and train with it. Okay, so enough about what I did at the range today. What I want you to do is get out to the range and try it with your Ruger Max-9, and then come down here and leave a comment down below. Maybe hit the like or hit the dislike if you think this was a waste of your time. Let me know how you feel about it one way or the other, and we'll keep this conversation going, and there may be future episodes on what we can do with this little Ruger Max-9. So again, I can't let you go without saying this. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. God bless. Yeah, you're not going to believe this. This is probably like the 4th take just trying to get set up so I could do this. Hey folks,